Whether it's taking on a new challenge or fighting for the right to be treated equally and fairly, these stories show how members of the disabled community shatter stereotypes and exceed expectations. I'm Aaron Baker. Today we're sharing heartwarming stories of resilience, hope, and inclusion as well. First up, WTAE's Mike Clark has the lowdown on a Pittsburgh cafe whose staff serves up smiles and hope piping hot.
Patrick Fitzgerald knows what it takes to make the perfect snickerdoodle.
Flour and sugar and pea butter and eggs and vanilla and butter, cocoa powder with pea chip.
Getting some kitchen help from his mom, Terry, Patrick, who has autism, was the first employee hired at Brother Andre's Cafe.
I like it. Love it.
His dad, Mike, tells me this job, this place, these people
Open for business.
are blessings.
I love all my new friends I've made here.
Kevin Loisel says he enjoys serving people.
I love making cookies, and it was a perfect fit for me.
When Michael Oberschelp's old job ended, he applied here.
Wonderful. Because I like trying new things.
He says life is better now at Brother Andre's, even though he's very busy.
I do like coffee, bags, and everything here.
Julia Fieldhammer doesn't make cookies or coffee.
Working as Brother Andre's blog writer has been an incredible experience.
She's a social media influencer blogging about the love that fills Brother Andre's Cafe.
Brother Andre's has given me an opportunity to form new relationships and develop my writing skills. I hope that you will come visit us at this wonderful place.
A wonderful place made more colorful through the creative work of Morgan Galuska, designing the flower arrangements throughout the coffee shop, with her infectious, ever-present smile adding to the beauty of this basement cafe. Danny Scheib says he always wanted to work in a coffee shop and is thrilled to be a barista.
The shop has taught me a lot about customer service and how to make drinks.
He says it's rewarding to see the growth and development of all the employees using their talents.
Yeah, definitely teaches us about how to talk to people, how to socialize, and how to be confident in who we are and who we want to be.
Now we're heading to Baltimore, where one caring couple dedicated their home to raising disability awareness. WBAL's Brianna Ross has the story.
Along Franklin Street in Havre de Grace, you'll find a house decked in blue and yellow, not just because its owners like blue and yellow, but because everything about this house, including its colors, have a special meaning.
Those are the colors of Down syndrome. Isaac's Adorable Home is a place dedicated to our children, Isaac and Nora, and the disability community.
It's a community that Kimberly Wiskiewicz and her husband are a part of. Isaac's Adorable Home is right down the street from the doctor's office where they found out their daughter Nora would come into this world with Down syndrome.
We realized at that very moment we have to advocate for her and a community we had no idea would gift us with so much more meaning.
7 years later, they found meaning in opening Isaac's Adorable Home. They bought the home in summer 2022, renovated the whole thing, and turned it into an Airbnb and art gallery filled with paintings and photos by people with disabilities.
The art is not just about what you see, but there's just so much more that goes beyond it. And it's the person that created that art needs to be celebrated just for being who they are.
Kimberly and her husband hold art events at the Harford Center and the Arc of Northern Chesapeake Region, where people with disabilities can paint freely.
We have individuals who've painted that have intellectual disabilities here.
The money from their Airbnb guests help fund those events. But welcoming guests for stays is not just about the money. It's about expanding their minds, teaching them about life for people with disabilities through pictures, books, art, and personal messages.
And we hope that people who are not personally connected to life with disability can come here and leave and have a better understanding when they come across somebody who does.
And so this blue and yellow house is so much more than what meets the eye. It's a symbol of acceptance, expression, and the hope of a more inclusive world for Nora and everyone else pictured on these walls.
That's the world we celebrate, is a world where people with disabilities are living in it in a meaningful way.
What a wonderful cause. Now don't go anywhere, because after the break we'll have some incredible stories of resilience and strength. Welcome back. WMTW's Steve Minnick has our next piece from Maine, where one so-called disabled adventurer is fighting to give everyone the chance to explore the outdoors.
When I assess a trail, I will look for either roots, rocks, how hard the surface is.
Enoch Glidden is a self-described disabled adventurer.
I've never been here before. I thought it'd be an awesome place to check out.
Today, he's checking out Kennebunk's Alewife Woods Preserve. A volunteer for the organization Maine Trail Finder, he's now traveling the state recording firsthand a trail's wheelchair accessibility, then sharing that information through his Enoch's Adventure page on the Trail Finder's website.
I go out and I check trails to see how hard they are for someone who uses a manual wheelchair. And I'm hoping that by giving people that information, they can answer that question of how can I do these trails? Pretty perfect, actually.
How can I do it is the question Enoch's been answering for himself since he was a child born with spina bifida. He skis, paraglides, climbs mountains. He's even scaled El Capitan. And these days, he's exploring miles of Maine's trails.
I didn't realize before I started doing this kind of thing for Maine Trail Finder that there were so many amazing places to go in Maine that are public.
Enoch has another idea too. Eventually hoping to rework the Trail Finder's rating system for difficulty, he wants to create a new category that includes wheelchair users.
So right now, when you look at Maine Trail Finder, it will say easy, moderate, or advanced. But that's based on people who can walk. So I want to be able to come up with a rating system for everyone.
Since launching this project, Enoch has discovered an array of new trails that are accessible to everyone. And by documenting that he can do it, there might be others who won't let a few roots or rocks get in their way of their own adventure.
I want to get as many people out into the woods of Maine as possible so that they can see some of the amazing places that I'm seeing.
You could definitely call Enoch a trailblazer. Next up, we have another role model who wants everyone to experience the freedom of being underwater. Genevieve Glass of KOAT has the story from New Mexico.
At just 12 years old, Cody Unser was left paralyzed from the waist down.
I was really depressed and angry, and everybody has like an idea of what their life is going to be like, and especially when you're younger, right? You have all these like dreams and aspirations.
Her paralysis was caused by a rare autoimmune disease called transverse myelitis.
I've definitely tried to live life to the fullest, and my family's in the auto racing. I think that kind of helped me after I became paralyzed to kind of continue that drive and that energy.
She adapted to the challenge of life in a wheelchair and then dove deep into the daring sport of scuba diving.
And it was the first time that I felt not only free, but also very confident, independent.
The Cody Unser Foundation partnered with the scuba company to hold an event here at the Rio Rancho Aquatic Center to teach people with disabilities the power of adaptive scuba diving.
This is just another example of how we want to make sure that we're reaching out to the whole community and we're being inclusive and making sure that everybody has a great quality of life here.
But inclusivity is often a struggle for people with disabilities.
We live in a concrete jungle that's not always giving to people with disabilities. Literally, the sport can be adapted to everybody, and that's the cool thing, because not a lot of other things in life are that way.
25-year-old Cameron Lewis's way of life changed when his leg was amputated following a nasty crash on the I-40.
Just taking it day by day, recovering slowly. Doctor recommended this to help me meet new people and learn about how to adapt to the new form of life that I have to come to now.
This was his first time, but it's safe to say it's not his last.
It's fun, a lot fun. It's making me work a lot of joints that I haven't moved in a while, but it's freeing. It's awesome. I love it.
And that feeling doesn't stop with the participants.
But when you get that aha moment that you're underwater and that person looks up into the sky, sees the bubbles, and they're just feeling weightless. The weight of the world, the stress, how injured they are, how heavy they are, how heavy the equipment is, it does not matter.
And our motto with that is changing lives one dive at a time, because it really only takes one dive to change someone's life.
Up next, one young man fights for the right to his dream. WXII's Bill O'Neill has the story in North Carolina.
Austin Freed's chance has finally arrived, but it wasn't easy. He had to get himself a lawyer, wage a 4-year legal fight, but now he is one step away from achieving his dream.
When I was 5 years old, I want to be a firefighter.
Now 25 years old and working as a part-time firefighter, Austin faces one last roadblock to achieving his dream. North Carolina would not make an accommodation for his reading disability, allowing someone to read the questions to the EMT exam, an exam required of all full-time firefighters.
So he was left with no other option but to pursue court action, or give up on being an EMT, which he wasn't about to do.
Austin won his day in court, albeit 4 years later, in what disability attorney Holly Stiles calls a unique victory. He's the first in North Carolina to get an accommodation for the EMT exam.
Regrettably, it can be typical that people are that unwilling to provide the accommodation someone is entitled to.
I'm trying to help everybody. Do not give up. Keep doing what you're doing. If you want to keep doing firefighter, don't give up and keep going. Fight for it.
A lot of people assumed he couldn't be a firefighter, but Mr. Freed has just put one foot in front of the other and has done every single step that he needs to become a full-time firefighter. This was sort of the last missing piece.
If I pass my EMT, I'll be like, yes, now I can be work anywhere I can go.
Stick around for our final stories, where we'll see how disabled artists and adventurers defy expectations. Welcome back. Now Erica Tarantel of Boston's WCVB has the story on one dancer's resilience and dedication to making the art inclusive.
The Firebird gingerly rolling through the chaos to begin her soliloquy.
Elise Patterson, who is 26, has been a dancer since age 4. Movement an intrinsic part of her life. But after spinal surgery in 2010, she had to change how she moves.
Even when I must constantly explain and defend how I exist in their world.
She dances at times with mobility aids, but not always. Several years ago, while studying at Wellesley College, she was searching for opportunities to perform.
If I wasn't finding those spaces for me or for people like me or telling stories that resonated with me, and so decided to create a space like that, really for myself, but it's grown beyond just me.
It's grown into Abilities Dance, a dance company made up of performers with diverse bodies, as Elise describes, some with disabilities and some without, all on a mission to make beautiful art while promoting diversity and inclusion. This original production of the classic Firebird Ballet includes audio descriptions for those with vision impairment, also captions and interpretations for those with hearing impairment.
It's completely new music, completely new choreography, and just reimagining ourselves and telling our own stories.
People are more than just one factor of their identity. Each person has this whole package of identities, and we want to encourage people to recognize that in others so that we can care for others.
Bradford Chin traveled all the way from California to perform, as did Antoine Hunter.
I love dancing. Art is the way to communicate with the world. But with all the discrimination as a child, I felt like there was no place for me in the world. But dance itself, wow, it saved my life.
From all over, the company held most of its rehearsals virtually. This coming together, so meaningful.
To do Firebird as a person with disability and seeing people, you know, brown bodies was awesome. And also to lead by a black disabled woman is awesome. And to see, you know, black people to lead is homecoming for me. I want to be a part of that. It's so rare to be involved with that.
What a beautiful way to bring more people into the art form. Over in Sacramento, art is being used for good. KCRA's Brittany Hope has the story.
Snap out of it. Good job.
3 more to go.
From crafting. This needs the silver on the edge here. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
To painting.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. One stroke or song at a time.
I'm singing and singing in the rain. Da-da-da. Thank you.
And that's how you make the whole environment cheerful all the time.
That's right.
How long have you been painting?
A long time. I get a good teacher. I like this because it's easier and do it line by line. I like dot to dot.
Patricia is one of the many people who is part of UCP of Sacramento and Northern California.
What color you want to paint the mountains?
The nonprofit serves individuals with intellectual disabilities. Their Adult Day program inspires their own creativity.
That's what I like to do, and as a matter of fact, we are selling these.
Selling all of this handmade artwork at the Palladio Folsom Farmers Market.
And I want to be out there also participating, because this is my first time going out there, and I like to do because it's an enjoyable thing, and I like it.
So we need to string some of these. Getting these adults immersed in the community is critical.
Just because we label somebody with a disability doesn't mean that there's limitations to what they can and should be able to do.
I asked Bob what he is most excited for ahead of the big sale.
Just be with people.
Just be with people. Do you like being with people?
Yeah.
Why do you like being with people?
Just make money.
You make money. But this market means more than just the cash.
She's my favorite teacher, my best friend.
She's your best friend. It's a reminder for us all. Can you hold it right there?
What it means to the individual is it highlights that they matter. Sometimes we forget that they matter, but they do. And what they do, that they as an individual are important. And they shouldn't be isolated from the community.
I am remarkable, and I'm truly blessed to be with all my friends here, and I keep on, and I want to keep up the good work that I want to do.
Tree, the leaves.
Maybe we're all a little bit like art.
Art is never perfect. It's perfect for somebody, but it's not ever perfect. That's what makes it beautiful.
Beautiful. And unique.
Ooh, very nice.
Now for our final story today, a group of brave athletes is taking on the mountains of Lake Tahoe. Jason Marks of KCRA has the scoop.
My biggest takeaway from today is this is the best day of the year.
When you think North Star, you think snow.
Everybody's at this day to shred, so let's go shred.
But even before the first flake of the season has fallen, there are still downhill adventures to be had.
Joy. That's it. I mean, what else? You got wind in your face. There's freedom ahead of you.
These guys and gals traded in their skis and poles for handlebars and pedals.
That freedom I get to just fly down the trail and in the woods, it's bliss and it's heaven.
Wolf Keith Swimminson grew up on this mountain.
Most of my life has been spent outside and in the mountains and in the mountain sports.
But it was looking for excitement in the desert where his life forever changed.
I broke my back in a car accident in 2019. I was doing a Rockford turn, which is like you go backwards and spin a car around and take off forward, and the car rolled over into the berm I was going to jump and just smashed the roof in on me.
Swimminson was told he would never walk again.
It was probably the roughest few weeks of my life.
When some individual loses that opportunity to participate in sport, they lose more than just sport. They lose the idea of community as well.
Roy Tuscany started the High Fives Foundation in 2009. For the last 4 years, the nonprofit has made a stop at North Star. High Fives is geared at putting those severely injured back in the saddle.
I knew there was a world that was needed to support this world that I just got brought into.
Tuscany broke his back skiing in 2006.
I took it as like, try and tell me what I can't do. And from there, I just have always used that approach in everything in this. It's like the way I started this foundation, the way I relearned how to walk, every type of sport I've got myself back into.
His mission is to help others realize that life can continue.
When I'm in my wheelchair, I've always have to have my friends waiting for me, but when I'm in this bike, I'm waiting on my friends, and it's one of the times in my life that I don't feel like I'm disabled.
There is not many options for people with disabilities to go and do some kind of sport.
This is the first time Dario Melendez has been on a bike at North Star.
Oh, I never been to downhill. That's gonna be my first time, doing downhill.
And he's pedaling with only one leg.
This is the best feeling for me. Like being out with friends, sharing the good vibes, sharing the pura vida, as we say in Costa Rica.
They're going to do something that they were in love with before. It got taken away from them. And all of a sudden, they get to go do it again. That's why it's joy, it's love, it's everything.
So on this mountain where thrills become memories.
It's a way to go out and just enjoy my life with my friends like I used to before my injury.
These riders know anything is possible.
This day reminds us not to take anything for granted and make every turn, every fishtail, every jump, make everything count.
That's all we have for today. We hope that this episode raised awareness of the courage, strength, and power of the disabled community. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, I'm Aaron Baker.